Are you a business owner stuck in fear, doubt, and worry about what the marketplace will look like in the future? Then this show is for you. Strap on your seatbelt and get ready to disrupt and innovate. Here's your host, Lisa Levy.
Today's guest, Linda Fisk, is a powerhouse in leadership, business, and personal growth. She is a multi-award-winning CEO, TEDx speaker, 5-time international best-selling author, TV and podcast host, board advisor, and university professor. Above and beyond all of those achievements, Linda is a dedicated champion amplifying success for high-caliber business leaders worldwide. As the chairwoman of Leadership Global, Linda has built an empowering community for unstoppable women, helping them enhance their leadership blueprint, embrace their power, and achieve both professional and personal excellence. With a PhD and MA in clinical psychology, she has extensively researched influence, persuasion, negotiation, and the psychology behind success, blending the science with real-world leadership strategies. It is a great honor for me to introduce Linda and welcome to the conversation.
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. I am such a big fan of your podcast and you and the incredible thought leadership that you offer everyone in your orbit. And so being able to be here with you is honestly just a thrill. Thank you so much.
It is my honor and privilege to have this conversation with you. We have known each other for about 5 years and gone through some tremendous growth along the way and had, all sorts of different experiences. So to take some time and share some of those insights and the experience with this audience means the world to me. So just to get us oriented, right? I did the intro and there's so much in the intro, Linda. Oh my gosh, I'm always amazed at all of the things that you've been doing. But what is your primary focus right now? And why is it really important today?
Thank you. My focus has been for the last 5 years that you and I have been in community together, has been about helping women advance their success, really accelerate their success. And I believe that women deserve to have access to the resources, the tools, the funding, the knowledge, the community, the connections, and the media opportunities to really accelerate their level of success, however they define success. And so a lot of what we've been focused on, especially over the last year, is helping women really understand that the health of their business is way too important to postpone or neglect. I find a lot of times that women often feel overwhelmed. They feel that the pace of change has become absolutely overwhelming, and they find themselves often paralyzed by the number of options, by the number of solutions, by all of the pressures and stresses of being an entrepreneur, a business owner, a business founder, or a C-suite executives. But I got to tell you, the one uniting factor of all the women that I work with all around the world, and we're talking about 10,000 members of Leadership Global globally, and the one uniting factor is all of these women have goals to grow and to scale their businesses, but often finding the time, the investment capital, or the right course of action can be a real challenge. So what we're trying to do is ensure that women do not feel buried in day-to-day tasks, leaving no time to focus on the big picture, but to be able to elevate themselves to work on the business, not just in the business, and to be able to tackle the pace of change that we see in the business environment right now, regardless of industry. So regardless of the industry you work in, I would say that everyone, of course, is striving for growth, but they're feeling constrained by all of the changes that they see within their industry. And it could be also a bit of feeling revenue constraint, time constraint, or really decision-making overwhelm. So we help them navigate through that so that, they can bring their big ideas to fruition and to see those big ideas and to see their passion and their purpose actually take root and bloom.
In that, you talked on and hit on, the pace and the rate of change that's happening in our world. And every year it's more and it's faster. And we have technology coming at us, we have political strife, we have all of these different things. And for women who are leading and building businesses, who may also be single parents, we have all these different things. One of the base challenges that we all face at some point is imposter syndrome. And you didn't talk to it, but with your background and your knowledge, I want to play with this a little bit, because when you're building a community of women, I know that that topic comes up regularly, right? And so as we are imagining and ideating what's possible in the future and how our businesses can both grow, we can build revenue, great, we can scale, hopefully, right? That's really the goal, right? Do more, and everything else follows when we can systematize. But how do we start in getting ourselves in that place where we can acknowledge when imposter syndrome rears its ugly head, and we can start to push it away and give it a little bit of distance?
Yeah, that's such a great, rich topic for
Yes.
exploration, Lisa. Thank you. And listen, you and I both know that building a business and making a real impact is challenging. And you need a community of leaders around you to help solve the big challenges, to find the valuable opportunities, and to accelerate your success. But I would also say, to your point, that often you need people that will lift you up, that will cheer you on, that will remind you of your purpose, your mission, your vision at those times where it feels most daunting. Listen, everyone in Leadership Global is talented, they're driven, but sometimes everyone feels as though the challenges in front of them, the roadblocks, the obstacles are too much. They may feel like their audience doesn't see them. They may feel as though to be able to invest the capital into their business that they really need is out of their reach. They may feel as though they have incredible ideas, but they don't have the time to focus on the big picture. They may feel as though they're always reacting, never really leading, and feeling stuck in catch up mode. And those kinds of feelings of overwhelm and scarcity can absolutely erode your sense of personal confidence. It can erode your sense of competence and confidence. And that can lead to things like imposter syndrome. And we know from research all around the world, year after year, that women suffer from much greater challenges in feeling confident than their male counterparts. Women often designate their contributions, their capacity, their capability as being lower than their peers. They struggle with a sense of confidence as a gender much more so than their male counterparts. And that is proven from research studies that begin with little girls in middle school all the way up to the highest level of C-suite leadership, that women struggle much more with confidence, which can lead to imposter syndrome, especially if they feel like they are missing out on the moments that matter most. Not only are they feeling rattled in the leadership of their, multi-million dollar business, but they're missing out on the moments that matter most. They're having to sacrifice parts of their life in order to achieve the level of success that they believe that they are entitled to. And those kinds of trade-offs, those kinds of challenges that require trade-offs can really, I think, challenge someone's overall sense of purpose, tenacity, drive, and confidence, leading to ideas of, uh, imposter syndrome, not feeling as though you're worthy, not feeling as though you're valuable, not feeling as though you're making the right choices. And every single moment of every single day, I think anyone is in leadership is faced with choices. You're faced with different ways of allocating your time, your money, your capital, your resources, your team's efforts and focus. And when you feel as though those choices are becoming too difficult, there are too many sacrifices along the way, it can be really tough. And so I think that's what many of the women of Leadership Global are facing and working through right now. And I think it's relatable to everyone in leadership.
I think that it is, and I want to make the connection point to something else that you said earlier on, right? Is Elevating yourself as a leader is getting out of working in the business to focus on the business. And I do believe that anyone who is feeling any level of insecurity, it's really easy to be very busy in the business and use that as an excuse. I'm too busy to think about the future. I'm too busy to have new ideas or implement or experiment with ideas because I'm so busy doing.
Right.
But what they're doing is hiding from the opportunity and the possibility of growth. And so, right, they're missing out on opportunities to innovate. They're missing out on opportunities to look at what's going on around them, to actually choose to be disruptive, which is my favorite role for a leader, is to challenge your own status quo to make a positive impact for the business, for your customers, and leverage that energy. But when we're in a position of downward focus on doing work, all of that creativity goes away. And right now we are in unprecedented times.
Yes.
Rules that we thought were rules are being thrown out the door left, right, and sideways. And we can put our heads down and do what we've always done and pretend to be busy, or we can open our eyes and look wide into the left and to the right and seize opportunities to change our future. What are members of your community focusing on right now, that those who are embracing the uncertainty and the discomfort, what are some of the really cool things that are starting to happen?
Yeah, Lisa, first off, wow, that was so beautifully said. You're right. You have to very diligently, purposefully create time to allow for innovation, to allow for disruption. If you don't create that time to work on the business, to do forecasting, to look over the horizon at what's coming towards us now at greater and greater speed, then oftentimes that's when businesses fail. When you don't take the time to carve out the space for innovation, when you don't carve out the time to really do future casting, vision casting. And right now is such an incredible pivotal time of change, as you noted. There's artificial intelligence, edge computing, augmented reality. There's cybersecurity issues that are popping up right, left, and center. There's generative AI, and there's a lot of divisiveness around the conversation of generative AI right now. People that are seeing this as, the second coming, and then others that believe it's the beginning of the downfall of society. And so understanding the complexity of generative AI, I think is really important. But again, it takes time, it takes insight, it takes investigation, exploration, and time to do that. Quantum computing is literally changing the landscape of the largest, most daunting challenges facing humanity. Quantum computing is literally creating a path to solve some of the most overwhelming problems that we have been dealing with for generations as human beings on planet Earth. That is mind-boggling. Then there's extended reality. There's the Internet of Things, which we've been talking about for years now. Blockchain, crypto. The pace of change is remarkable. And I think the most important thing is to really understand those technologies, those innovations, those areas of disruption within our industry, within our companies, that we can actually harness to speed our own success, to be able to maybe save time, save resources, save money, that allow us to be more productive, allow us to be more focused on those things that will accelerate our success rather than overwhelmed by the number of options and choices in front of us.
It is a fascinating time, and let's just play with AI for a little bit, because it is something that every person
Yes.
can leverage to make themselves more effective and more efficient.
Yes.
I was having a conversation with a gentleman who is playing with creating AI agents to work as teams. So if you have one AI, right, doing one thing, that's fabulous. But if you have a team of 4 or 5 of them that are cross-checking, quality checking, and working as a team, right, this team of bots can do for me, right, things that would be the research for my next book. They can come up with and they can help. I've written 3, so they can learn my voice and how I write and start drafting out information from my speaking, from my thought leadership, from your thought leadership, Lyndon, right? You could do this too. You've written more books, but right, and actually start to do that first draft of work for me in days and minutes. That would have been months and hours, hours, months, weeks for me. And it's going to be 40 or 50% right. And with multiple agents working together, that level of accuracy grows exponentially. So we all have been playing with Chat GPT and other versions of that. But if you actually train them and build a team of them, they cross check each other, right? The same way that we would. And I was actually blown away with how quickly the basic facts of research could be automated. And I thought I was doing a really cool thing using multiple platforms to do that by myself. And I never even thought about having the AIs do it for each other. It's a silly, stupid example.
It's a great example
Of something that any one of us can actually start leveraging, because we can train the bots on the platforms to do this for us. And I'm constantly amazed at how many people are afraid of that. How much time did
and
I
I
just
would
get
say
back?
that a lot of people are um, fearful because they believe that maybe their jobs will be outsourced to
Yeah.
AI, or their unique giftedness, their talent is going to be replaced by AI, or their particular area of specialty, their education, what they have trained to do in the job force will be replaced by AI. There's a lot of fear around that. I understand that, but I think a different way to frame that is to say, and in light of the fact that this may be an outcome that comes to pass, what can I do right now to leverage AI
Yeah.
to be able to take my current area of expertise and level it up to the next level, to a level of expertise and experience and sort of uh, offering that has not been conceived of yet. I think that's exciting to say. If I were a business analyst and I recognize that, wow, AI can do a lot of the business analyst work that I typically
Mm-hmm.
do faster, more accurately, with more creativity, more resourcefulness, etc. So as a business analyst, I see that really my functionality in this role is limited as compared to AI. Then the question becomes, how can you harness the power of AI
Mm-hmm.
as a business analyst to be able to serve as the conduit between the business who has questions and the resource that can answer those questions? Because there's still something really important to be able to ask the right questions in the right way with the right prompts to deliver the right information and have it formatted in a way that's digestible and easy. If you were the conduit between the business who has really serious business questions and the AI platforms that can get to really interesting answers more quickly, you still can serve as the intermediary between those parties, adding a ton of value. And so, one of the things that I think everyone has the opportunity to do is to say, how can I harness the power of AI? Given my role, given what the challenges are in front of
Mm-hmm.
my functionality, my business, my industry, and how can I add value beyond what AI does, right? There's interpretive processes, there's explanatory processes, there's communication processes that are still very human, that are
Mm-hmm.
still very much reliant on relationship and on human to human connection and contact. And that's where we can bring our giftedness, and that's where we can bring our talent and still leverage the incredible power of AI, for instance.
Absolutely agree. One area where I love to imagine a future where AI is playing a larger role in that yes and category is my annual exam with my physician.
Yes.
Right? When was the last time your physician actually spent 10 or 15 minutes actually talking and engaging with you and learning things? If there was an AI agent in the room doing the diagnostics, doing the research, doing all of the things, and you were actually having a quality interaction with your healthcare provider who understood your fears, your concerns, and all of those other things, and it was not just about reading the lab results, right? That experience that generationally, 2 generations ago, right, they had with their doctors when the doctors came to their home, right? This was very interactive. But the wealth of knowledge that's available that doesn't have to be rotely memorized by a physician in this day and age. We have the ability to get deeper, more meaningful relationships in and around our health. I mean, I
Oh,
love
and
imagining
Lisa,
that future.
imagine if in your scenario, you actually had AI that could synthesize your medical records from your oncologist,
Yes.
from your spinal doctor, from your whatever, your heart doctor, your endocrinologist, your eyesight doctor. If there was a way that AI could literally tap into your medical records from
Mhm.
all of those specialized, synthesize that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that could uncover? So maybe your ophthalmologist noted that, wow, your eyesight's really changing much more rapidly. And then maybe your endocrinologist said, your blood sugar's been a little bit erratic. And then maybe your general practitioner said, actually your blood work seems a little off. And yet you had AI that could synthesize the results of all of those doctors,
Mhm.
all of their observations into new possible diagnoses,
Mhm.
core issues that may be happening. And maybe there's a result in your eyesight or your blood sugar or your liver functionality or your kidney functionality that any one of those individual specialists say, not a big deal. But if you had AI that could unite all of those diagnoses together and say, don't miss this, can you imagine the kind of breakthroughs that we could create?
Absolutely. Let's take it up one more level. That all of that data is now, right? This is my information, that it is held on the blockchain in an NFT. And with a key, I can access it when I'm in a car accident in the Philippines. And the hospital has the ability to know everything that there is to know about my medical history, even if I'm unconscious.
Yes, and actually, there is a member of Leadership Global that has created a tag that literally that tag entails all of their medical records that they've had access to, the
Yeah.
medical records that have been given to that patient. She now is allowing all that information to reside in real time on a tag that can be worn as a bracelet, a medical device bracelet. So to your point, Lisa, things like that I think are happening that are, empowering. And I think it's time for, being able to cheer and celebrate a lot of these breakthroughs, a lot of these innovations. That's amazing. And I really do think it's going to break down silos. It's going to collapse timelines. It's going to speed
Mhm.
up and accelerate the level of success that leaders can derive out of their businesses. But it takes time to actually research and develop the innovations that are relevant to each of our individual businesses. It takes time and it takes, I think, intention to create that space for innovation.
It does. And right, being intentional is important. And in my work, we talk about, generating and running an innovation engine inside of your business. And it's a key practice that all businesses should focus on. Innovation is what drives us into the future. But Linda, in this, we've talked around lots of fun things, but you anchor all of this inside of community. You have nurtured, you said, 10,000 members worldwide into a community where there are these opportunities to share and safe spaces to ideate. And will you tell us a little bit about the community?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Lisa, I'm very thankful for the community that we are both a part of because it really is designed to accelerate growth. And oftentimes, to accelerate growth, you need to again be intentional about the leaders that you're surrounding yourself with. You have to be purposeful and intentional in creating your own board of directors, really. So, we in Leadership Global have created what I believe is an incredibly powerful group of leaders that are deeply invested in the success of other women. So through Leadership Global, you can accelerate your growth with expert guidance. You can tap into mentorship. You can tap into advisory services, tailored learning programs. You can tap into those particular areas where you need to sharpen your skills. You need to overcome very specific challenges. Or maybe you're trying to achieve lasting success, really create legacy. Well, through expert guidance, we have the ability to help women take that step. And as you noted, community is, I think, a hallmark of where innovation happens. That's where disruption and innovation happens. It's in the collaboration of like-minded leaders. It's in the idea exchange of really interesting perspectives and different visions, values, different life experiences, different areas of expertise. So to be able to build powerful connections and collaboration is central to not only developing a successful business, but to be innovative and disruptive. And so I think joining a global network of incredibly accomplished women leaders, fostering those kinds of meaningful relationships and creating strategic partnerships and collaborative growth opportunities is a key to unlocking however you define success. And it's in the partnership, the alliances, the joint ventures, the exchange of ideas with other leaders, where oftentimes you can have those breakthroughs. You can have that sort of sense of, that aha moment, like, holy cow, why didn't I think of that, right? And it's in community that often that happens. And lastly, I also think that simply by expanding your influence, raising your visibility, you are going to be attracting people into your business, your solutions, your thought leadership that can impact them. So not only do we provide opportunities for members to gain access to exclusive speaking opportunities or media features or branding resources, the neat thing is as women step onto that stage and they share their experience and expertise, they are creating impact for other women who need to know about their particular area of learning, their area of expertise, their experience. And I think it elevates everyone's game to help share your expertise as a trusted and credible expert. And that helps everyone. And that's really, I think, the third area of offering that we provide in Leadership Global is certainly accelerate growth with expert guidance, build powerful connections and collaborations, but also we help women expand their influence and visibility to a global audience, which I think opens up incredibly interesting conversations.
It absolutely does. And the global audience is a fantastic opportunity to think differently, to see the world through different eyes and get outside of our comfort zone. Linda, if you've piqued the interest and curiosity from members of the audience, how do they learn more?
You're welcome to come to our website, leadershipglobal.com. You're welcome to drop me a note or connect with me on our website. And of course, I'm very active across all social media platforms. But if you come to our website, you'll be able to learn everything about Leadership Global. We're incredibly transparent. You'll be able to hear directly from members. You'll be able to connect with me directly, and you'll be able to learn about all the ways that we can help you accelerate your success.
Absolutely fabulous. Linda, the conversation today has been really focused on advancing success of business leaders and the power of, well, we played with a little ideation in real time on how we can leverage AI in different places to level up. It's an opportunity inside of a community to do this with like-minded peers, people who have very different perspectives and will challenge your thinking and give you that opportunity to grow and scale both your business and yourself as a leader. So I truly appreciate you being here with us today. And audience members, you know the rules. Don't get left behind. Join me next time.
That's it for today's episode of Disrupt and Innovate. Head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show.